Today, we're going to pry open the Earth's ultimate treasure chest. Seriously, inside are the minerals and the energy that build and power pretty much everything in our modern world. So let's dive right in. Just take a look around you right now. Think about the phone in your hand, the chair you're sitting on, the building you're in, all of it. It seems like a simple question, doesn't it? But the answer is, well, it's huge, and it takes us deep inside the planet itself. It's so easy to just take this stuff for granted, but its origin story is absolutely fascinating. Yep, it's that simple. Everything we build, everything we use, is either grown or it's mined from the earth. These resources are literally the pillars of our civilization. But, and this is the big one, they are finite. That treasure chest has a bottom, and that is the core challenge we're going to unpack together. Okay, first up, let's talk about the literal building blocks of our world, minerals. These are the raw ingredients for nearly every single thing we make. You know, in science, the word mineral has a really specific meaning. It's not just some rock. For something to be a true mineral, it has to check 4 boxes. 1, it has to be made by nature, not in some lab. 2, it's got to be the same stuff all the way through. 3, it needs a specific, repeating atomic structure, like a perfect crystal. And 4, it has to have a set chemical formula. Think of salt, which is always NaCl. That strict recipe is what gives every mineral its unique powers. So how do we even find this stuff? Well, nature doesn't exactly make it easy. Minerals show up in about 5 main ways. They can fill cracks in rocks, forming what we call veins. Or they can settle down in huge layers, like coal. Sometimes they're just what's left over after everything else has weathered away, like bauxite, which gives us aluminum. They can get washed down rivers and deposited. That's how we find a lot of gold and silver. And sometimes they're just dissolved in the ocean itself. Each one requires a completely different way to find it and get it out. Now, when it comes to metallic minerals, there's a really important split. You've got your ferrous minerals. That just means they have iron in them. Think of these as the heavy lifters, the absolute backbone of steel, cars, and buildings. Then you have the non-ferrous minerals. These guys are the specialists. Copper is a superstar for its electrical conductivity, and aluminum from bauxite is incredibly lightweight, which, is why we use it to build airplanes. And it's so important to remember that not all valuable minerals are metals. I mean, take a look at these. Mica is an amazing insulator, which makes it non-negotiable for electronics. Limestone, that's the key ingredient in the cement holding our entire world together. These non-metallic minerals, they're kind of like the unsung heroes of our daily lives. Okay, so we've got our building blocks. Awesome. Now, how do we power it all? Let's crack open the second half of that treasure chest, our energy resources. When it comes to energy, it really breaks down into 2 big families. On one side, you have the conventional sources. This is the old guard. Coal, oil, natural gas, the stuff we've relied on for over a century. They're powerful for sure, but they're running out and, well, they have a dirty reputation. Then you have the non-conventional sources. These are the newer kids on the block. Solar, wind, tidal. They're renewable and offer a much cleaner way forward. Let's just zoom in for a second on the king of conventional fuels. Coal. Because not all coal is created equal, it's actually graded based on how much time and pressure it's been under for millions of years. It starts out as this soggy stuff called peat, then it becomes lignite, then it matures into the industrial workhorse bituminous coal, and finally, if it's really lucky, it becomes the highest grade, hottest burning anthracite. So, given those 2 families of energy, what does our global diet actually look like today? Wow. Yeah, this chart, it tells a really clear and honestly a pretty startling story. We are overwhelmingly powered by those conventional, finite fossil fuels. That 85% slice, that's not just a number, it's the reality of how deep our dependency runs, and it's the source of our single biggest challenge. And this right here brings us to a huge turning point. We've seen what we use, we've seen where it comes from. Now we have to face the consequences of that whole model. I mean, this is the billion-dollar question, isn't it? The incredible progress of the last century was built on the back of cheap, abundant fossil fuels. But when you look back at that 85% number, you just have to ask, can we really keep this up? And maybe more importantly, what happens if we try? The trade-offs become really clear when you look at the environmental cost. I mean, the impact of fossil fuels, we're talking air pollution, CO2 emissions, it's just undeniably high. Even nuclear power, which is low carbon, comes with its own major challenges like waste and safety risks. Renewables, on the other hand, clearly have the lowest impact. The path forward starts to look a lot clearer. And here's the really exciting part. The alternatives are amazing.
Solar energy is everywhere. Wind is totally clean once the turbines are up. Biogas is just genius. It turns our garbage into fuel. And then you've got things like tidal and geothermal that tap into the constant, reliable power of the planet itself. The point is, we have options, great options. So the big question is, how do we manage all this? How do we make this transition? It's all about having a smart, deliberate strategy for managing our planet's shared treasure chest, for both the minerals and the energy. For minerals, the strategy is actually pretty simple, and you probably know it. Recycle, reuse, and substitute. Get this, recycling just one aluminum can saves 95% of the energy it takes to make a new one from raw ore. 95%. Reusing things is even better. And finally, just being smart about swapping out scarce minerals for more common ones is a total game changer for the long run. And on the energy side of things, saving it is just as crucial as making it. And this is where every single one of us comes in. These aren't just little suggestions. They are powerful actions when we all do them together. From taking the bus to flipping off a light switch to buying an energy-efficient fridge, every choice helps reduce the strain on that treasure chest. And really, when you boil it all down, this is the goal. This famous idea of sustainable development, it's not just some fancy phrase. It's a practical blueprint. It's about being smart, being efficient, and thinking ahead. It's about enjoying the amazing treasures of our planet today while making absolutely sure that chest isn't empty for the people who come after us. So that leaves us with this one last thought. We know the planet's resources are limited. That's a fact. The real question is our ingenuity? Is our creativity? Is our will to innovate and build a better future also finite? I guess we'll have to answer that one together. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.